Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where we are finishing off the French. We've just taken southern France, or rather the army has. Good job, them. So the Navy is going to move around to western France, where we will begin the invasion. And that should, although weirdly we're not going to have connected anything up. It's border gore everywhere. Such is the nature of things. Everything else looking absolutely fine. I do have a research priority on very large guns because I'm hoping to do a refit of the battleship. Well, a lot of the main fleet once the war finishes. So I'm hoping to get those 14 and 16-inch guns ready. No, you can't have any ships. It spawned it over Brest. Okay, normally it spawns over La Rochelle, but I guess it was like, oh no, I know you've got ships there, so we're not having that. But yeah, France looking very, very sad. United States still has rebounded economically. Their fleet is still a little bit smaller. They would definitely be my next target to get rid of. Primarily because I quite like the look of grabbing Alaska, the stuff in the Pacific that they still have, and of course North America. The end game is going to be to fight Britain, as it often is in Ultimate Admiral. That's just how it goes. Kind of what should happen, really. Okay. I mean, we've really smacked Larve. Can we do a double? Yeah, we can. Been constantly bombarding Le Havre. Maybe we can just do a double invasion. Britain, no thank you. Yeah, I know they failed to gain control of Szidonya. They've been locked out of the Med. Yeah, we should just have to wait a few turns, and then France will fall. And there we go. France has fallen. And they will disappear next turn. Yes, provinces 0. Lovely. Also, very rare to have not the entire fleet, but most of the fleet in one place, because the new battlecruisers have just finished, the Ukikazes. So now what I need to do is I need to think about deployment. Now, if my next enemy is probably going to be the United States, well, we'll have to see, actually. But I do want to make sure I actually have, fleets around. So we're going to need a Channel fleet, well, Atlantic fleet, probably operating from France. We're going to need a Mediterranean fleet. We're going to need a Baltic fleet, so we're going to need 3 fleets over here. And we actually don't need that much of a fleet over in Japan. Weirdly, Japan's relatively safe, unless, of course, you get into a war with Britain. So let's have a think. We have 4 battlecruisers sitting over here just now. So I think we keep the newest ships in Japan. So let's send Musashi, Shinano, and Yamato home. And they can respond. Now, what else have we got? We've got the battlecruisers. And we have a couple of faster battleships, the Keys. But everything else does 30 knots. So the Keys, 32 knots. Maybe we make them the Mediterranean fleet, the 2 Keys. Let's have them operating out of Rome. So that's Key, and that is Chiodagata. We then want a Baltic fleet of some description, probably operating out of Danzig. Probably our slower, older ships, so like, well, not that any are particularly slow these days, but let's put Fuso, Kaga, Tosa, Yamashiro, and the rest of them are battle cruisers, aren't they? So let's put the battleships over there. Let's put the 16-inch armed ships into Brest, and that leaves me with a little squadron of 3, which I think should actually be over here somewhere. Havana, no. Possibly in Panama? Nope. There's usually like a sizable port over here, but no, just nothing. Oh, I could put them in Belém. See, normally you could shove them in somewhere, but yeah, 90,000 is just too much for any of these ports to hold. So we'll stick them in Belém. Right, that should redistribute the fleet, or the capital ship fleet anyway. I will obviously need to rejig the economy for peacetime operations, although we're actually looking pretty snazzy in terms of our finances. Oh, that's because we're still at war. Next turn, my finances probably are not going to look quite as jazzy. Yep. Mind you, we've got a nice buffer to just get everybody back in port and repaired. There's going to be quite a lot of repairs need done because a lot of the ships have just stayed at sea, even though they've taken, the odd hit here and there. So it's going to be a few months to do all those repairs. Then we can start on, big old round of refits. Get all those ships up to snuff. And then probably fairly rapidly try to get a war with the US. And when I say fairly rapidly, I mean just pressing the button over and over and over again to increase tension. Because we're not wanting that. Basically. Wow, someone's really taken a while building a new ship. Right, eventually, and it was Britain doing that. All that building. France has gone. Bye, France. Only 3 remain. Good. Right. Well, I need to do some juggling. So this one's going to take longest to repair. Suspend her. Wait a turn. Unsuspend her. We'll get all the ships fully repaired before I start doing the refits. Or the next time I see you probably will be when I'm starting to do them. Ships back as they were. We are also going to need some more destroyers. Fortunately, we already have a design for them. The Haru Sames, which I will also order a bunch of. Probably, I don't know, but a bunch, because we've taken a lot of ports, and most of them from the French anyway, and most of them do not have any ships in, so I'll just order a bunch of destroyers. Alright, welcome back. It's now May of 1943. All the ships have been repaired. All the new destroyers have been built. I built 50 of them. And they don't seem to have distributed themselves sensibly. They've got 3 over here. Send 1 over here, please. Got anyone else with more than one? Right, there you go. Yeah, sure, I could have done that manually, but it's just a pain in the arse. So, I also wanted to research Radar 2, which we have now done. And I think I now have Autoloader 2 as well. So, fantastic stuff, along with the triple base, means that we can get into doing the refits. Scroll down. So, can't do the ones with the 16-inch guns yet. So, first, it'll be these three classes here that we'll do. We'll try and do them all at once. But again, I'll cut out all of the loading. Alright, first up are the toasters. So we'll get them some new oil. Get them a super cool diesel system. 1-1 armor. Triple base. Fully automatic gun reload. Gen 2 radar. Superior guns. Okay. Fire arcs. What are we looking like? Fine. Could possibly do to move this turret to here. If we're doing that, I might be able to squeeze some additional secondary guns in. Also, everyone tells me to look at the tower. So we currently have Tall Advanced Tower 2. That's this one. We do have the Tall Advanced Tower 5. As an option, what's this one? Base accuracy 28.5. We also have things down here like modernized, but I'm not seeing vastly superior accuracy. Well, there's a 30 there. Yeah. These are offering me nothing I'm interested in. Oh, 35. There we go. Rebuild light. $33. Rebuild pagoda tower. There's a 32. Rebuild modern. So we could go with this one. Rebuild pagoda. That's a fancy option. I'm going to move. Well, I'm going to remove the secondary tower, but I'm going to put a 6-inch gun down here so I don't have to set them up again. But I am going to take them off. This is more of a rebuild than a refit. Now, before I had, well, one of these, right? 9, 8. What else have we got? 14s. Not bad. 13s. 15. A 19. 21. 21. Any better than 21? I'm looking at base accuracy if you're wondering what I'm looking at. Nope. Another 21. And another 21. Oh, this one has the barbette thingies on it. And this one doesn't. Nope, looks like it does. But they're all 21. And that's nice and small. Yeah, it's going to be this one then. Well, I say it's nice and small. It's actually pretty chunky. Where's the other 21 secondary tower? It was further up. It's like this one. Wow. Yeah, no. Really, the one I want is this one. That's only a 15. This is a 19. Oh, downscaled. Perfect. There you go. Absolutely perfect. Right, because that can sit kind of here-ish, and then we can get a funnel on. Ooh, new funnel options. 60 funnel cap. 73. 89. 90. So many options. Oh, 100. I think that's the only one I've seen at 100. Does it fit? Yes, it does. Perfect. Right. Cool. So the secondary guns can then go back where they were. But I think we can now fit say no mounts, but I don't believe you. That one's too short. Use that one. Because that way we now get a couple of centerline 6 inches as well, which is nice. Plus the casemates, one of which has been removed for some reason. And then we can add, presumably it's going to have to be 2-inch triples. There we go. Can add some AA. Lovely. And I know we've gone overweight. I'm sure we can fix that. Casemates need to be... Oh no, casemates need to be longer. Not that long. 6. Yeah, there we go. So they're the same actual barrel. Cool. We're 3% overweight with all these changes. But I think they're worth it. We've got a better fire arc on B. We have better stats on the towers. What can go? Technically don't need the RDF, but I do like having it. Yeah, we'll stick with the standard diesel. We could drop range just a touch. Still very good. And then we just need to lose a tiny bit of tonnage. Probably this does not need to be as thick as it is. Bring that down to 2-inch innermost. There we go. All right, Tosa total rebuild. But yeah, that works for me. I mean, that's basically a brand new ship. That is a modern fast battleship, just with 14-inch guns. Yeah, Cool. Love it. Right, saved and on to the next one. All right, up next are the Fusos, which are straight away complaining. But I think that's just them being silly. There we go. Let's do the components first. I'm not sure I did the components right on the Tosas. Do you know? I'm now second guessing myself. Did I do them right on the Tosas? I can't remember. Oh shoot. Well, I'm sure the comments will let me know. Right. So we currently got a big pagoda tower, which has a base accuracy of 24. Yeah, that rebuilt pagoda tower looks quite enticing. It's quite big. Drop a funnel, but that shouldn't be an issue. The other thing is, I should probably move these guns forward anyway. So that we have the full protection on the ship. So that leaves me space for a second funnel. Speaking of funnels, these offer me 63 funnel capacity. Oh yeah, we can definitely go better than that. We can get a super duper funnel 3. Just one big funnel, potentially. Is there a better one? 68. 80, but they don't look fun. Could go with those. They look quite similar. But have, I believe, slightly better stats. Try and preserve their look as best I can. Whoa, something's stuck. It's not supposed to happen anymore. Get rid of that secondary tower for now. Because that is something else that I should look into. I was using one of these, so 13... 14.5... 15.5... 16.5... 21... 21. Probably this one then. That also means I can get this away from the rear turret a little bit. Give us a little bit better fire arcs. Okay. Put our anti-aircraft armament back on. Not gone overweight on these. Interesting. But give them the same 6-inch guns that the Tosas have. Starboard weight offset. How have I managed that? We're missing a couple of guns. Now I'm overweight by 5 tons. Piss off, 5 tons. There you go. Lovely. Okay then. Well, I know there's still an abomination, but yeah, we're getting a pretty modern fleet here. Pretty modern. Right, I'll save this one and move on to the last ship. All right, it's the Congos. Yeah, okay. Upgrade. The radar. I'm also going to check. Oh no, I've already put them in. Fuck. Oh well, they'll get another refit at some point. I don't think I did the toasters right. I'm convinced I didn't do the toasters right. I can't be asked going in, you know, checking the video, but pretty sure. Any interesting towers? We're currently using a large main tower 3 with 13 base accuracy. 30 from the rebuild triangular tower, which is fancy. The rest of them, no. Oh, 35. Even better. 35. Okay, new superstructure. Oh, that's big. I will say that. That is a big superstructure. Secondary tower is needed. 12. 14. 21. Also 21. That's this nice small one. Here we go. Perfect, so I don't have to redo the guns. And a funnel. Ugh, so many choices. But it's one actually fits. Yeah, let's just go with that one. I'm not going to spend too long looking. It fits and it works. Slightly overweight though now. By 400 tons. Probably lose a little bit of range now that we've buffed it. Thanks to the new oil and stuff. 50,000 kilometers is crazy good. Yeah, perfect. Right, refit's done. Well, I'll wait a few turns and then we can do the 16-inch ships. All right, we now have the Mark V 16-inch gun. Yes, good. No, you can. Oh, you can have those actually. Right, that means that that will give us an entirely modernized fleet. Weirdly, apart from the Yamatos, who are still on Mark IIIs. But I've finished nearly all the gun techs now, so now I'll just pop this on. Oh, we're about to get the Mark IV. I think I might rush Mark Vs because it shouldn't take too long to just... Mind you, I've only just started on the Mark IVs. Yeah, it shouldn't take too long, especially with all of these being completely done. Destroyer designs are done. Cruiser designs done. Yeah, we're getting there in terms of technology. Here's the British tech. Everybody's very advanced, right? We don't like you. send you a message saying we don't like you. Right. 16-inch ships. 000000003. Amagi. Right. Let's load you up. All right. Yes. Well, these ships are looking pretty good, actually. Apart from, I want to shift that gun a little bit further forward, which is probably a good idea because I'm going to look into I'm just going to take the superstructure off. Ooh, they need a new barbette badly. And enlarged. There we go. That doesn't look quite as stupid. Oh no, I don't want to move that one. I'm going to have to. It's very slightly too far forward. Too far aft, but it's just going to have to do. Because otherwise I can't fit it on. Well, we'll have to see what happens here. So let's get rid of all of this. What do you mean error mount? I don't know what it's talking about with that. Right, we've got that rebuild Pagoda Tower again. Yes, we do. That's a nice tower. It will mean that the fleet is going to look quite... What? What? No. No, you let me put it down before. You bastards. That one works, but that does not look right. What? Game? Why have you... is this one of the weird ones where you can get away by putting down a barbette? I mean, no mounts. And going out and coming... No. Oh, well, I'll fix that another time. We want this one about here. Then we're going to want a funnel. 8800. Now I just need to let you... Why won't you let me use the barbette? You did before. Bastards. You did before. Why? It says no mounts. I thought that was fixed. It could just be that the game is being annoyed. Or I've clicked in something in it. Oh, fuck off. In an incorrect order, and now it's throwing a hissy fit. I really don't want to use that barbette. It looks stupid. But I guess I'm going to have to. Now, what I was potentially thinking about doing is upping the secondary armament on these ships. Potentially. Really wish I could just shove that just a smidge back to like here. It's not letting me. Okay, let's do the components. Ooh, these are actually getting a pretty sizable upgrade. TT4. Triple base. I'll come back to the layers. Come back to the layers. Don't forget to do the layers. Yep. Layers, 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 layers. There we go. 7 months. Yeah. I'm not surprised. This is looking more rebuildy than most things. See, what I'm thinking is potentially a different secondary armament. Let's have a look. If I go for... No, it's going to have to be a tall. Yep, I'm going to have to move this back a bit. Probably then I'm going to have to move it forward again. But for now, we'll just shift it back. So, like that. And then secondary. On this ship, given that we have a bunch of 6-inch guns already, I think we should continue with the 6-inch turbo lasers. That is not centered. There we go. Now, obviously, I could fit like one gun back here, but I think what it makes the most sense to do is actually to take both rear guns off and put a triple 16.1 in. Replace the front two with triples as well. So that I can have a turbo laser battery at the back. Lovely. Giving her a little bit more secondary firepower, and I think we can fit a pair of turbo lasers in here. Yeah, we can, just. And maybe a pair like here? I don't think that blocks this one too much. No, it doesn't. Look at that. Concerned about destroyers, potentially. That is a lot of pew-pew. And if those were... Did anyone ever make a dual-purpose 6-inch gun? Because if they did, that would be beautiful heavy AA. I like to think that they are dual-purpose 6-inch. Surely you could make a 6-inch dual-purpose. There were definitely 5-inch dual-purpose guns. Yeah, those things are fun. How many rounds a minute do they spit out? 3.78. Not bad. No upgrades to range or bulkheads. It's all going in guns. For these things, the Amagis, I like them. These rebuilt Amagis. Cool. Right, on to the next. Alright. Next up, it's the Nagatos. These... yes. Because really, that turret should be there. At least I don't have the barbette problem with this one. Let's move it to there. Dump that tower, and please tell me I can get the rebuild. Get the advanced, which I think is the same one. I don't think I'm going to get a better funnel than the super duper funnel. Oh, I do have 2 and 3. Cool. Stop doing that, right? The 3. And monetary tower 1. Still probably my best option. Now, the question is, if I put this down here... Oh, that is better. That's a serious lengthening of the citadel. But would allow me to do the same sort of thing that I was just doing on the other ship, which is to get a 6-inch turbo laser array. Turbo laser. I know not everyone's a fan, but I love them. I might have to change the barbette though, because if I want to have a forward firing one as well, that arrangement isn't going to work. Mind you, it is pretty compact. Maybe we can squeeze just a teeny bit of space out of this. It's just because that funnel's really long. Ooh. That is not enough space. Right, this funnel change. Let's go with 2. Just because it's slightly shorter. Should still do the job though. Poop. Now, I need a more compact funnel. I do have mega funnels. They're not quite as good though. This is the one I was using. Get 2 mega funnels in? Yeah, I can get 2 mega funnels in. Alright, let's do that. Very nice. Turbo laser. Turbo laser. Turbo laser can probably do the same trick when we have one kind of here-ish. So we've got quite a lot of secondary firepower per side. I'm actually wondering if on this ship I could fit another one forward without interfering with a turret too much. Yeah, that works. Lovely. Very nice. Right, oil. Wow, that actually got me almost all the way to the weight that I needed. Goodness me. Modern armor 1. Citadel 5. Triple base? Yeah, triple base. Love you, triple base. Oh no, we need to add the autoloaders and radar. Never mind. Oh, we don't need that level of armor on the tops of the turrets. We do want to fiddle with the lengths though, so I think these go to 6 and these go to like 12. Nope. 16. Yeah, 64s on both. Okay. Range. Actually, we're not getting that much back by dropping range. I have to go to minimum. I'm not going to do that. Go to standard. So many 6-inch guns. And see, I got 9-inch on the casemates. A new tower is quite heavy, isn't it? Okay, I can dump the RDF. That's a nice to have. That gives you 1%. 808 tons. Guess it probably would be casemate armor. It's just I don't like reducing that too much, but okay. Okay, well, we're getting there. It's another percent. They're basically the same armor as the 6-inch gun, the turrets. What else could we fiddle with here? I don't want to reduce bulkheads. That seems like a backwards step. 600 tons. Could shave a little bit off the bar bits. Right. You just fixed that in the last one. I know, but they don't really do anything. There we go. Cool. Nagatos. Again, pretty radical. Rebuild rather than a refit. But yeah. I think we have reason to be worried about destroyers. And yeah, putting a ton of 6-inch guns on. Sure, if they come along with a long lance, the 6-inch guns are not going to reach them. But if they're trying to come in close for an attack, this should be enough to just splat them. Cool. Next. All right. Next up, it is the keys. Now, the first thing to do, of course, is to fix this little issue in that they should be 16.1s. Oh, now it's complaining. No, right. Well, I need to... Well, it says I should... In theory, I should have the gun there, but that just... No. That ain't right. Oh, beans. Right. Let's move that there, because I was basing it on the breakwater. This is where... Really... Yeah, I'll put it just there like that. So... Yes, this should be further forward, but I think this is the smallest version of this hull. So if I wanted it to be right, I should have gone with a longer one. Again, this is too long. It's too well, yeah, no, it's okay. Right, shush with your some guns have a poor sector of fire nonsense. Now. Really, I should be looking at the Super Pagoda Tower here. Potentially. But I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to fit it. Like, I can't lengthen this ship. Interesting that that's the problem I'm running into. Yeah, I wish this ship was longer. By the way, I did go back and check. The toasters, I did not make a mistake when I was upgrading them, I don't think. Again, comments, feel free to correct me if I did. Cool. So, this already has a bunch of 6-inch guns on it. So I'm not going to bother changing them out. I don't think I'm going to change... Weirdly, I don't think I'm going to change the tower. I know I could. I could do that, and that would mean removing the centerline secondaries and only having side secondaries. But I think I prefer not to. I think I just want to do this. Yeah, I think I just want to do this. Just a cheeky little upgrade. These are our fast battleships. Should have a bit of displacement remaining. Interesting. Because yeah, I think if I went with the Because what am I actually getting? 24 to 33, that is significant. I could use this one. This is the one with the built-in secondaries, but again, it's enormous. So we do have a slightly better... So I'm probably not going to change the secondary tower. And I'm probably not going to change the funnel. No. This one's very slightly better, but it's going to be a lot bigger. So yeah, I don't think... I mean, I could go with... something like that. The modern tower 1 would fit, but I would lose my forward gun. So yeah, I'm actually going to leave it as is. I'm actually going to leave it as is. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it like that. I think get an extra lot of speed out of you. Oh, hello. Ah, but 2 knots. Get an extra 2 knots of speed out of you. There you go. They're getting something. And they finally get 16.1s instead of just regular 16s. Cool. Well, I'm going to head back to the main screen. And I might have a look at what hulls are available first. I want to do a design study. I don't often do them, but sometimes it's interesting. So what I was noticing with the key was that because the key is this size, it wasn't quite right. But at this size, I think we could probably, so full size, we could probably build something, and we know we can make them fast. We know that we can push them to 34 knots, which is very fast. Where does it change size? So that's the super long one. That's the medium. I think the medium's okay, but we don't want the short. So we're in this zone here. So where's the key that I just did? Here. So they're 50,000 tons. So if we look at something more, 66,000 ton range, right? How big is a Yamato again? They're like 70, right? Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, they're 74. So this is going to be in between a key and a Yamato. Because I reckon I pop a couple of guns down so I can start populating this. I want this gun to be... Oh, there's someone ringing my phone. Hold on. It was my parents. Now, what are we doing here? Yeah, that isn't right. What the dickens is going on with this ship? Because this would need to be all the way here. So maybe I do want the super long one. That means making them almost as big as a Yamato. In fact, bigger. At 80... Still, so you're telling me this is 2 sections? Crazy. That is absolutely crazy. That is where it wants me to build them. You'd think that the forward section would start more like here. Okay. We would probably want, if we're going this big, we might as well get 18s, right? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Interesting quirk of this hull. What else do we have access to? We have the super battleship. Yes. My only problem with the super battleship is it's a little bit slow. At 27 knots. I think we could probably push it to... This is going to have the same issue, isn't it? Mind you, maybe it won't. Let's just pop some guns on and see what happens. Put them in sensible places. Yeah, this one as well, once you... Really, you should be putting the guns there. So this one has the exact same issue. Interesting. Very interesting. What about the 2? Does the 2 have that problem? This is the Yamato hull. Because you kind of want to place them there and like there, right on the thing. Yeah, they all do. They all have this idea that this is okay. Okay. All right. I wish we had a slightly different hull. I probably will build a super battleship. This could. I mean, why not build a super battleship? Large cruiser. See, unfortunately for Japan, the 3, the 4, and the 5 are not the same hull, but very similar. The 4 is actually slightly different, but the 5 is just a bigger version of the 3. And I'm not a huge fan of more of these. I actually prefer the one heavy cruiser 2. Light cruisers. We've got modern light cruiser 3. Have I built anything on the modern light cruiser 3? I'm not sure I have. I'm not sure I have built something on this one. I don't recognise this one with the float plane crane at the back. Maybe I have, and I've just flipping forgotten. So what size are these? 10 to 14. Unfortunately, a lot of our cruisers are going to be in that sort of size. Well, it's not a Shira, it's not a Funikaze. It might be the Oni. I think the Oni's had a step at the back. It's not that one. I'm not sure we have, you know. New light cruiser. There we go. Not what I was expecting to build, but it is what I am going to build, I think. I think we can build something reasonable out of this. They can do 36 knots. Sure. Could probably make them go faster. We slim them. Actually, do you know what? We don't need to slim them. No slimming required. They're going to be big light cruisers. Oil. Unit. I'm going to assume this is lighter at 55, but we'll check diesels. Nah, yeah, diesels are heavier. I don't have gas turbines yet. Diesels are great if you have slower ships. Cool. Guns. Well, it would be a 7-inch turbo laser, right? Of course it would be. 7-inch 66 caliber. Pew pew pew. Where do we want it? We want it like there. And then the rear one, we want about here. Cool. I wonder. could do that. Although I'm not a huge fan of that barbette design, actually. Can we go for a medium and then a tall? No. That's right, I don't get the battleship ones. I could stick with what Japan actually did, which was ABN setups, which we have used on several of our cruisers already. Yeah, I think double ABN or ABN VXY if you're using the way I name turrets. That looks solid. It's a lot of firepower. Then a couple of torpedo launchers back here. Don't think I'm going to fit... don't even think I'm going to fit a quad launcher. Maybe a triple launcher? Yeah, those just about fit. Yeah. Just have the option of torps, although it feels like I should be able to fit a quad in. Feels like a quad should fit in there. Oh, it does. But it should fit here. Oh, I've just noticed that funnel is actually just slightly too big. Because it should slot into the thing here. And it's... well, it does a bit. But maybe if I go with a smaller funnel, it won't moan about the torpedo launchers as much. Or exactly the same amount. But actually that's slightly better, I think. Oh yeah, I need a secondary tower. Oops. Let's lose that gun. Secondary tower. What? There we go. Lovely. Okay, so she doesn't... so now she's ABNXY. It just would be nice if it was all... if it was super duper firing, but I think it makes sense that it's not. There is a reason that wasn't really done very much. Go capitalistic, TNT 4, triple base, need more punch, super heavy, as punchy as I can get those guns. They're relatively dangerous to destroy. They just don't have quite enough to go right through them. I wonder. No. Stick with regular 7s. No armor on the ship currently. Don't like that. Let's go 6, 3, 3, 1.5, 1.5, 3. Yes. 9. Oh, 0.6, 3, 6, or 3. Oh, actually, overweight. Unheard of on a light cruiser. Expensive light cruiser, I would say that much. Why is it so expensive? Engines. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe it need. Well, I don't want to put it on a diet because then those torps won't fit. How much money am I saving if I slim it? Oh, so much money if I slim it. Slim it. It says some guns have a 4 sector of fire, but which ones exactly? I don't believe you anymore, game. What's the torpedoes? Pants. Oh, hello. Yeah. There we go. It saved 200 million. Slimming that down. Yeah, those guns are fine. Don't know what he's talking about. Oh, hello. An absolutely hilarious potential AA armament, which is just all right under the bridge. Sure. That's how that works. And yeah, it's also fixed my weight problem. Which is good. Because ain't done no layers. Go 543 like that. Okay. The Ottawa. I think we're going to make them smaller at 13,000 tons. Spacious. Makes sense because they're going to be on long patrols. Oh, I like them. That is a very nice little light cruiser, if I say so myself. Approved. Right. How many? We currently have 22 light cruisers, so I should build 8 of these. I can't build 8, I can only build 7. That's annoying. But once these refits finish, I should be able to fit another one in. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. What else are we lacking? We're maybe lacking a little bit of heavy cruiser force. Although I'm pretty happy with our heavy cruisers, if I'm honest. We've got a good number of capital ships. How are the others doing? The US, 3 battleships, 1 battle cruiser, 13 heavy, 16 lights, 15 destroyers. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, we're kind of matching the UK or exceeding them in light ships. They have a lot more capital ships than us. I need new capital ships. Okay. I really are. So we have the Keys, which I think are a really nice ship. compared to a Yamato, yeah, they're cheaper. I think this is probably our best. I think this is our best ship. I really do. It's just... Well, I know that making it longer doesn't make any difference. Aside from, I might be able to fit better towers. Maybe I do want to do... Okay, I'm going to try one more time. Really? Umming and ahhing. So, we want the modern one. Slim. 34 knots. With 16.1s. So it is going to be like a key class. But slightly bigger, which I know I've already tried to do this episode. I'm not going to be perfect with the compartments. So I just have to build it how it is. Right, okay, so mod 1. Slim you down. In fact, slim you down both bits. Right, I think I did that for the key. Where have you gone? Oh, it doesn't show me there. But yeah, they were 50. And I think we're going to go for 60. Just so it's slightly bigger. We're going to get the Super Pagoda. Somewhere. We're going to go with the same 16.1 inch guns. Oh. Oh, hello. That's actually correct. Okay. Yeah. All right. And then a toolbar bit for the start of our secondary guns, but we're not going to use... Or are we? Really, I want to be able to reach out and shoot destroyers. And I think it makes sense to use... I'm actually going to use a... No! I didn't want to do that! God damn it. I'm thinking of using the 888 from a Yamato to give us that just very heavy secondary armament. Because I think if I make them as long as possible, well, a 60 caliber gun, which is TNT4, triple base, yeah, all this stuff. Yeah, that can definitely reach out to a destroyer range. It's not going to get it with high explosive. So let's increase go increased on both. Right, and then funnel. Going to be oil balanced, double geared steam at 34 knots with a diesel electric auxiliary. Actually, let's not bother with the RDF. Okay, it does come with armor. Good. Otherwise, that's going to get very tricky. Lovely. So, now... we're going to want a pair of barbettes back here for a pair of 8. No. Oh, see, now it's showing me the... Light to me. Liars. Okay. Shift everything forward. Sorry about this. But noodling is important. Come on. Okay, so now we have a set of 8s over 16s. I'm assuming 3 inches are not going to fit in the tower. Nope. Here's our light AA. And then we can have proper dual purpose. So 5-inch guns. Quads. Probably in this little bit here. So 1 there. Actually, it should just all be facing out. Makes more sense, rather than forward or aft. So we have our dual purpose AA. Oh, those are twins. Triples. I meant to do quads. Irritating. So, 3 of them each side. Also 60s. They can shoot out to 15 kilometers. The 8s can shoot out to 21. Actually makes them kind of useful, just in general. Even against big ships. I think that's okay, actually. We are very slightly overweight, but I have not done the armor yet. So, 16-inch main belt, I think, is sufficient. Probably want to up this a little bit. Main deck of 6. We're taking your hits at 30,000 meters or more. But yeah, screw it. 6, 1.5. This does not need to be that thick. Turrets. Yeah, 20-inch. 16-inch barbettes. We'll get 10-inch on them. They have a little bit of armor. They don't have any. I'm underweight. But I've not sorted any of this out. Fortunately, I don't need the inner belt to be quite that thick. No, I think we could bring this down quite a bit, actually. Oh, perfect. 2.5 inner belt multiplies up to... yeah, 20-inch. So basically the same as the turret. Which means protected from our own guns down to about 12,500 meters. And if we're engaging at that range, that's knife fighting range. Yeah. Okay. I've compromised a little bit on range. So compared to a key, these are significantly more expensive. But instead of the 9 triple 6-inch guns, we have 3 triple 8s and 6 quadruple 5s. It's a slightly different layout, but more importantly, these things are, I think, just a really solid ship. This is just a solid ship. Fast battleship. Okay, yeah, 60,000 tons. Sure, whatever. They're not a Yamato. They're not meant to be a Yamato. They are line ships. They are cheaper than a Yamato, right? And this is an unupgraded Yamato, right? Oh, no, they are slightly more expensive. Now he starts considering. No, these are going to be my fast battleships. These are going to be my fast battleships. How do they compare to the Ukikazes? They're slightly slower, but more heavily protected. I need to refit the Ukikazes. My goodness. I have 3 of the new Heisen class under construction. I added the 8th Ottawa. So we're looking pretty solid. Relations with the US should tick negative soon. And then it should be a matter of waiting for an event. But yes, we need to get the Ukikazes refitted. Should be a minor refit as they're a much newer ship. But yeah, it should just be a gun upgrade, some components, and that's it basically. And yeah, then I think we're solid. We have a really solid base of 16-inch ships. We've got the Yamatos. And then I don't know what to do after that. Maybe 20-inch mega ships. They're always fun. Okay, Gen 1 to Gen 2. Coolite 2 triple base. Upgrade gun mark. Yeah, they all fit. Modern 1. You already had all of this. Yeah, that's literally it. So yeah, I think the main oh, mind you, these have a 3-inch inner layer. Their main layer is not as thick though, at only 14. Their turrets are thicker though than the ships I just built. Maybe I didn't need to build them. Anyway, it never hurts to have more ships. Never hurts to have more ships. It's just some of the hulls are just so fat. Fat shaming hulls. Anyway, this time I really will say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.